Welcome all to the fourth annual Campus Nature RX Symposium. My name is Dr. Don Rakow, and I'm speaking to you today from Ithaca, New York, the traditional homelands of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. Next slide. In my faculty role and administrative roles at Cornell University, I developed the Nature RX program and the accompanying course. I co-authored the texts Nature RX, Improving College Student Mental Health, as well as Public Garden Management and Public Gardens and Livable Cities. I also served as the executive director of Cornell Botanic Gardens for nearly 20 years and conducted various research projects related to the human benefits of time in nature. Next. Along with Dr. Dorothy Ibes, who you'll meet in a few minutes, I also co-direct the Campus Nature RX Network, CNRx. This network came into being back in 2019 with just 4 schools participating and has grown since then into a diverse web of nearly 70 colleges and universities. CNRx brings people together behind programs at institutions that encourage and support students and other campus community members to spend time in nature for improving health and well-being. As we all know, student well-being is of critical importance today in the turbulent world in which we all live. Next. In addition to Dr. Robert Czar, who you will be hearing from right after Dorothy and myself, Dr. Czar will be speaking about just what the doctor ordered, how nature prescriptions can get people motivated. Dr. Czar will be followed by Dr. Jay Maddock of Texas A&M University, addressing Aggie Nature RX and the college mental health survey that he is leading. Next, we'll have Stacy Parker, Connie Tan, and Sydney Jean Holmes from UC Davis, who will speak about 0 to 1 lessons from starting a nature prescription program from scratch. We'll take a short break for questions and answers from 2 to 2:15. So I encourage all of you, as you're listening to our first set of speakers, to put your questions into the chat, and we will monitor them in that first Q&A session. At 2:15, we'll hear from Dr. Jennifer Roberts of the University of Maryland, who will be speaking about the initiative she's created, the Wakiza Earth Center, Equitable Nature Access for All. Jen Roberts will be followed by Dr. Jason Hamilton and Tim Drake of Ithaca College, who will be speaking about their new text, Mindful by Nature, the Inner Works of Being Outdoors. Next up, we'll have Zach Hitchens of Towson University speaking about Towson's Nature RX Collaborative. And that will be followed by Carolyn Schuyler and Dr. Dorothy Bach of the University of Virginia speaking on the benefits of early semester nature retreats. We'll then have a second Q&A session. So again, please put your questions into the chat. At 3:30 Eastern, and I should point out all of these times are Eastern time zone, we will have moderated breakout sessions. Session 1, how to get over the hurdles and how to jumpstart a Nature RX program. I'll lead that. Session 2, Nature RX programs for diverse audiences. Dr. Celia Cruz will lead that one. And session 3, from collaborators for Campus Nature RX, find collaborators for Nature RX for research and teaching, and Dorothy Ibes will leave that one. We will have a 4th session, which will be more of a social opportunity, and we'll wrap up at 4 p.m. Eastern hour to debrief on those breakout sessions and talk about where we go next. So at this point, I would like to ask each of you to introduce yourselves in the chat by listing your name, the city, state, or country that you're joining from, your affiliation, meaning your college or university, if appropriate, and if you would like, what brings you to today's session. We would love to hear from you. There's quite a few of you on this Zoom session, so this would be an opportunity for us to learn a bit about all of you. Next, at this point, I would like to turn things over to my close colleague and partner in the CNRx network, Dr. Dorothy Ibes. Dorothy.
Thank you, Don, and welcome everyone. I see people are joining, so I'm going to admit everybody in a minute here. Okay, great. So my name is Dorothy Ibes. I am faculty at William and Mary. I've been teaching in environment and sustainability for a little over 10 years now. I teach some Campus Nature RX courses in that department, so including the science and experience of ecotherapy, mapping for community nature RX. I'm also a certified ecotherapy guide. My collaborators and I have also published a few journal articles on nature and health. We'll tell you about those actually in a minute. I'm also the founding director of the William & Mary Parks and Ecotherapy Research Lab. With my lab students, I've developed and managed a number of Campus Nature RX outreach programs over the last 10 years. These include Campus Park RX, the William & Mary Campus Green Space Map, a documentary short film called Nurture with Nature, a story of ecotherapy, most recently a campus bird scavenger hunt, and forthcoming a co-authored book called Ecotherapy for Everyone, a field guide with 24 nature-based activities for group facilitators with my co-author, Carolyn Schuyler. So if you're interested in learning about any more of these things, you can visit us at parksresearchlab.com. So, okay. So today I'm going to talk about how Campus Nature RX has been evolving recently. So I'll introduce you to our growing team, provide some updates on the network, tell you how you can get involved, and introduce a very exciting new certificate program designed to support existing and emerging Campus Nature RX leaders in developing initiatives in their campuses. I'm also going to show you where you can access some free DIY resources if you want to work on some of your own programs at your campuses. So the network has been growing rapidly from a handful of us in 2019 to 89 members today, representing nearly 70 colleges and institutions across the country. From a few of us sharing ideas in a meeting in 2019 to over 200 registrants for today's symposium. So the rapid and enthusiastic growth of this movement really is evidence that promoting health on university and college campuses through nature engagement is not only appealing to a growing number of campus leaders and students, but effective, restorative, and urgently needed. So I'd like to introduce you to our team. Dawn and myself are the co-directors and co-founders of the network. And we have a wonderful new program manager, Laura Grove, who joined us just this summer. We are also very pleased to introduce our newly formed advisory committee composed of 2 undergraduate students, one from William and Mary and one from Cornell, and university and organizational experts who will provide authentic and unfiltered input on all CNRx efforts. So these are James Edward Mills, Dr. Jennifer Roberts, Abel Olivio, and Dr. Cecilia Cruz. Each month for the past several years, CNRx members have received a lively and informative newsletter each month. But of course, quality products like this newsletter don't just happen. They need a team of people to consider the content, the design format, and to select images and video clips. So I'd like to acknowledge the very hardworking members of our editorial team. These include Stacy Parker, Dr. Sue McQueen, and Dr. Cindy Jones, and also a big shout out to Craig Kramer, who has done lots of work on the design. So thanks to all of them for all of their work over the years. And much of the recent growth of the CNRx team and some of our new offerings have been funded by a very generous grant by the REI Cooperative Action Fund. With this support and in the belief that nature belongs equally to all people, the CNRx team is dedicating our efforts to expanding and further diversifying CNRx by working with and supporting campus leadership. So particularly those from HBCUs, HSIs, community colleges, and other campuses with diverse populations across the US and perhaps someday globally. So again, we're really pleased that you're all joining us today. This is more than doubled our registrants from last year. Again, evidence that this movement is really picking up speed. We will be posting the recording of the symposium and the slides on our website, campusnature.com, within the next couple of weeks. So you can check back if you missed anything or would like to catch up on anything or watch it again. Soon we will have a YouTube channel for Campus Nature RX. So we're working on developing that right now. The symposium will be available on that channel as well as other content. So to keep up to date with all the things happening with Campus Nature RX, there are a bunch of ways you can get involved and keep informed. So as Dawn mentioned, CNRX is a coalition of colleges and university leaders and other professionals dedicated to supporting campus mental and physical health through inclusive and equitable nature engagement, teaching, research, and outreach. So I'm going to share with you again some ways to get involved. Anyone with an interest in this work, even if you don't have any affiliation with a college or university, can, of course, attend this free symposium. We have these symposia every fall, so you're all welcome to join. Anybody is welcome to do that. Likewise, anybody is welcome to sign up for the CNRx mailing list to keep up with the network. You can do that with this tinyurl.com/CNRx sign up, or you can do it with this slide with a QR code. And you can also sign up at campusnature.com if you're interested in that. So if you're faculty or staff at a college or university, you are eligible to join our 89 members, representing at this point 67 institutions. This is a growing list every week where new members are joining. So you can see the list as it is as of now. And it's also on campusnature.com. Highlighted are what we call active programs, and I'll explain what that is in just a minute. So there are 2 levels of CNRx membership that you can apply for on our website, campusnature.com. So there's an affiliate and an active membership. So affiliate membership is free and open to anyone affiliated with a college or university with an ongoing appointment that has interest in supporting campus health through nature. Active membership is free and open to member institutions that manage established active outreach, teaching, and or research related to Nature RX on college campuses. So active members design and run their own programs. And again, here you can sign up on our website. If you just click on members, you'll see options to do that. And another way college leaders and other professionals can get involved is by applying for a new offering that we have, brand new offering called the Campus Nature RX Academy Certificate Program. So the Academy Certificate Program is a response to a growing number of requests we've had over the years to advise and support budding CNRx programs. So this is a one-year program starting in the spring of 2024. Will be facilitated by Don Rakow and myself. And the goal is to bring leaders from colleges and universities together to support successful new or evolving CNRx programs. So this is going to include a variety of ways to support your program. So live virtual workshops that will be recorded and shared with participants, step-by-step guidance for growing a successful CNRx program, one-on-one, what we call co-creation coaching sessions where Don and I will work with you one-on-one to really talk about what kind of programming would be best for your campus. And exclusive access to CNRx Academy material releases that we are developing, curated content about campus nature and health, guidance and templates to help you fund your program, and connection to an online CNRx community comprised of certificate participants and graduates and other experts in the field, and the whole CNRx team. So graduates of the CNRx Academy will earn a Campus Nature RX certification level 1, which denotes that we are hopeful that there will be other levels in the future, more advanced levels forthcoming, and also to encourage you all to collaborate with and be supported by others at your institution while keeping kind of an intimate small group. Each institution can have up to 3 members that are enrolled in the academy. So this will keep this small group setting with this limited enrollment. The fee is going to be a sliding scale, but with a limited number of awards for leaders at HBCUs, HSIs, and community colleges, supported again by our very generous grant by the REI Cooperative Action Fund. So if you'd like to learn more about the Academy, to keep up to date with what's happening with that, you can fill out this interest form. I have a tiny URL again here, tinyurl.com/campusnature. There's also a QR code here. And there's also, you can just simply use old-fashioned email, get us at campusnaturerx@gmail.com. And really any questions that you have, you can get a hold of us at that email address. Well, I guess I want to mention that this academy really is for you if, one, you are a college or university faculty, staff member, or other leader that are concerned about mental health and well-being of your students and your broader campus community. Second, if you want to supplement campus health offerings with evidence-based Campus Nature RX programming, and or if you yourself would benefit from expert and community support to help you grow or help you to get your own CNRx program off the ground, from visioning and design to funding and realization. So, of course, anyone who has done this kind of work will tell you that leading a Nature RX program requires time and energy, and I would say patience, but is extremely empowering and fulfilling and effective. And an increasing number of campuses are demonstrating the power of nature engagement to reduce stress, heal, nurture, restore campus communities while improving academic performance and student social, physical, and mental health. So we really feel in the CNRx team here that CNRx Academy certification will become a mark of dedication to student health and well-being, with the added benefit of alleviating the burden on campus health services while bolstering student retention, success, and satisfaction. So again, to keep informed as we open applications for the Academy, please complete our interest form as soon as possible and let us know if you have any questions. So if you are looking for inspiration or DIY guidance for your own program or a program you're imagining, we also have a number of online resources that we have developed and curated to support Campus Nature RX programming, including journal articles, guides, books, and more. Some of them are accessible on campusnature.com/resources, while others I have compiled in a Google Drive folder. So some of the publications that some people may not have access to. So again, we've got a QR code, and again, we have a link. And let us know if you want to get those at a different date. So you can always email us again. So this is a public Google Drive folder that you should have access to access those materials. But I'm going to highlight just a few of these right now that the Campus Nature RX team has worked on. Okay, so in this article, Barriers to Nature Engagement by Youth of Color. So Don Rakow and I and our associate, Chris Kim, have uncovered a mix of external, socioeconomic, and psychological factors that limit youth of color's green access. So this could be a helpful resource for you on your campus as you're developing this kind of programming to understand what are those barriers to nature engagement by youth of color, in particular, one of the most underserved populations. On campusnature.com and also linked here are a wealth of DEI resources, including our guide to anti-racism in the outdoors, and all kinds of websites and databases and podcasts, etc. So a bunch of links there to support your DEI efforts on your campuses in relation to nature engagement. There's also a wonderful article by Meredith et al. And Don Rakow is on this committee, as well as a bunch of other, leaders in this field. The aim of this study is to define a dose of time in nature that could be prescribed to college-age students, as well as a preventative and supportive mental health and well-being intervention. So this is an article that was in the Frontiers of Psychology. Also, Don and I recently published this article in Frontiers in Psychology, Campus Nature RX, how investing in nature interventions benefits college students. So that can also be another great resource for you all. And then Don Rakow and others have compiled this incredible guide called Nature RX, a guide for first-year college and university students. So this is an excellent guide for you all if you want to help students on your campus engage with nature more and give them some more ideas. So you can look here. There's an outline that gives you some background of like why it's important for students to get out into nature, how they can get out into nature, working with the seasons, kind of getting over some key barriers to students getting into nature, some specifics on forest bathing, how people can prepare to spend time in the outdoors, how to bring nature to yourself, and what they call armchair adventure. So this is also an excellent guide that is ready to use that you can share. I shared it with all of the freshmen at freshman orientation this year at William & Mary.